Hello children, how are you? Hope you're all good. And today we are going to revise our second lesson, plants growing in different areas. We all know our earth is very big and it has different areas like forest, plain land, water, desert, seacoast, etc. Wherever we go, we find types of plants and animals. For example, plants found in seacoast are different from those found in the mountain region. Do you know why? And how these plants survive in extreme climatic conditions? Come on, let's see in our science class. Why trees and plants grow in different places and look so different? Because the plants make some changes to survive in different surroundings. The process of making themselves adjust to their surrounding or habitat by the plants is called adaptation. Once again, I'll repeat. The process of making themselves adjust to their surrounding or habitat by the plants is called adaptation. According to the habitat, we can divide plants into two groups. The first one is terrestrial plants and the second one is aquatic plants. Now we are going to talk about terrestrial plants. What are terrestrial plants? Plants that grow on land are called terrestrial plants. Again, I'll repeat. Plants that grow on land are called terrestrial plants. On land, there are mountains, forest, plains, and desert. In that, some places have heavy rainfall. Some have snowfall. Some are very hot and dry. Different types of plants adapt themselves to the natural conditions of their area, which help them to survive comfortably. For example, lotus and lily that grow in water cannot grow in desert area. We have 6 types of plants in terrestrial. 1. Plants on mountains. 2. Plants in plains. 3. Plants in desert. 4. Plants in areas of heavy rainfall. 5. Plants in swampy or marshy land. 6. Plants on Seacoast. Now, let's see the first one. Plants on mountains. In hilly places like Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, and Nepal, the trees are cone-shaped, tall, and straight, so that the snow can easily slide off. Instead of flowers, they have cones with seed inside them. The leaves are needle-like with tough and waxy coating to survive the snow and cold. Example: pine tree, fir, cedar tree, etc. 2. Plants in plains. The plants on plains generally have several branches and leaves. To protect themselves from cold, they shed their leaves in autumn, and they are called deciduous trees. Some examples are neem, peepal. 3. Plants in desert. In desert, there is very little rainfall, climate is very hot, and soil is sandy. Yet, some plants like cactus and date palms have adapted themselves to survive in these conditions. They have no leaves to avoid loss of water. Once again, I'll repeat. The cactus plants have no leaves to avoid loss of water. There are no branches, but thorns to avoid being eaten up by animals. 4. Plants areas of heavy rainfall. In these areas, we see a sharp contrast because water is abundant. Trees have lot of leaves. They remain green throughout the year, and they are called evergreen trees. Example: cotton, coconut, sugarcane, etc. 5. Plants growing in marshy or swampy areas. What is meant by marshy? Do you know about that? Here, the soil is clayey and sticky, so the water does not drain out. Because of this, the roots cannot get air from the soil. Once again, I'll repeat. The soil is clayey and sticky, so the water does not drain out. Because of this, the roots cannot get air from the soil. So, the roots grow outside the soil and takes air they need. Example: mangroves. 6. Plants on Seacoast. Where can we find more coconut trees? Yes, we can find more coconut trees in coastal areas. In these areas, the plants adapt themselves to withstand the strong winds, heavy rainfall, and salty water. Once again, I'll repeat. In these areas, the plants adapt themselves to withstand the strong winds, heavy rainfall, and salty water. According to the habitat, second plant group is aquatic plants. What are aquatic plants? As children, plants that grow in water are called aquatic plants. Once again, I'll repeat. Plants that grow in water are called aquatic plants. Aquatic plants can be divided into three groups. 1. Free-floating plants. 2. Fixed plants. And the third one is submerged or underwater plants. Now, let's see the first one. Free-floating plants. Have you ever seen some plants floating in the pond, lake, or river? Yes, the plants like water hyacinth and duckweed can float freely on water. These plants are not fixed in the soil. They float freely on water. Stems and leaves of these plants are light and spongy. This helps the plant float on water. Second one is fixed plants. Do you know which is our national flower? Yes, lotus. Lotus is our national flower. Do you wonder why they don't break when the water current is so strong? This is because stem of these plants are very flexible. So, they can bend with the flow of water and don't get damaged by strong current. These plants have their roots fixed into the soil at the bottom of the pond. They have long, hollow, and flexible stem to reach the surface of water. The leaves are broad and flat, which helps them to float on water. The leaves are covered with waxy coating. It prevents the leaves from rotting. The third one is submerged or underwater plants. The tape grass, hydrilla are examples of underwater plants. These plants grow completely underwater and are not visible above the surface of water. The roots are fixed to the soil at the bottom of the pond. They have narrow leaves to withstand, and the leaves do not have any stomata. These plants breathe through their body surface. Apart from this, we are going to learn about insectivorous plants and plants of the grass family. Let's see about insectivorous plants. Believe it or not, there are some plants that eat insects too, like pitcher plant and Venus flytrap. Why do they eat insects? The soil where they grow is deficient, means insufficient in minerals. So, these plants trap insects to fulfill the requirement of minerals. Once again, I'll repeat. The soil where they grow is deficient, means insufficient in minerals. So, the pitcher plant and Venus flytrap plant trap insects to fulfill the requirement of minerals. Now, let's see how they trap insects. In Venus flytrap, the leaf is folded into two halves. When an insect sits on it, the two halves close and they trap the insects. Once again, I'll repeat. In Venus flytrap, the leaf is folded into two halves. When an insect sits on it, the two halves close and they trap the insects. And in pitcher plant, the leaves are hollow and filled with nectar. The nectar attracts insects. When an insect falls or sits on the leaf, it falls down into the hollow leaves, and the insects cannot get out of the hollow leaves because the lid has closed. Then the insect is swallowed or digested by the plant. Again, I'll repeat. In pitcher plant, the leaves are hollow and filled with nectar. The nectar attracts insects. When an insect falls or sits on the leaf, it falls down into the hollow leaves, and the insects cannot get out of the hollow leaves because the lid has closed. Then the insect is swallowed or digested by the plant. And the next one is plants of the grass family. Plants gives us food, but it also useful to us in many other ways. Almost everything we use in our daily life are made from plants or their product. Tell me something that we get from plants. Yes, children, we get fruits, veggies, pulses, cereals, nuts, sugar, oil, spices, tea, coffee, etc. Most plants belonging to grass family are very useful to us. Grass does not need much water to grow, but during rainy season it grows very fast. Can you give me some examples for cereals? Yes. Wheat, rice, jowar, bajra, etc. are cereal plants. Which plant is used to make paper? Yes, papyrus plant is used to make paper. Again, I'll repeat. Which plant is used to make paper? Papyrus plant is used to make paper. And we get rubber from rubber plant, gums from juice of acacia, soaps and shampoo from vegetable oil are obtained from plants. Medicine are taken from plants like eucalyptus, cinchona, neem, etc. And now I'll repeat once again. Depending upon the adaptation, the plants are divided into two groups. 1. Terrestrial plants and 2. Aquatic plants. We have 6 types of terrestrial plants. 1. Plants on mountain. 2. Plants in plains. 3. Plants in deserts. 4. Plants in areas of heavy rainfall. 5. Plants in swampy or marshy land. 6. Plants on Seacoast. And the aquatic plants have 3 groups. 1. Free floating plants. 2. Submerged or underwater plants. 3. Fixed plants. And beside these, we learnt about insectivorous plants and useful plants, means grass family plants. Okay, children, take your classwork and start writing. Roman 3. Fill in the blanks. 1. Dash trees do not shed their leaves. Answer: evergreen. Evergreen trees do not shed their leaves. 2. Plants on hilly areas bear dash instead of flowers. Answer: cones. Plants on hilly areas bear cones instead of flowers. 3. In desert plants, the dash prepares food for the plants. Answer: stem. In desert plants, the stem prepares food for the plants. 4. In dash, roots come out of the soil to breathe. Answer: mangroves. In mangroves, roots come out of the soil to breathe. 5. Plants that eat insects are called dash plants. Answer: insectivorous. Plants that eat insects are called insectivorous plants. Roman 4. Give 2 examples of the following. 1. Plants growing on mountains. Answer: pine, cedar. Plants growing on mountains. Example: pine, cedar. 2. Plant growing in desert. Example: cactus, date palm. Plants growing in deserts. Answer: cactus, date palm. 3. Plants growing under water. Example: hydrilla, tape grass. Plants growing under water. Example: hydrilla, tape grass. 4. Insectivorous plants. Example: Venus flytrap, pitcher plant. Insectivorous plants. Example: Venus flytrap and pitcher plant. Roman 5. Answer in short. 1. Which plant is used to make paper? Answer: a plant named papyrus is used to make paper. A plant named papyrus is used to make paper. Papyrus. Papyrus. Papyrus is used to make paper. Question 2. Which 2 trees do not shed their leaves during winter? Answer: sugarcane, coconut. Within the bracket, evergreen trees. Question 3. Define. 1. Terrestrial plants. 2. Aquatic plants. Answer. Terrestrial plants. Plants growing on land are called terrestrial plants. Plants growing on land are called terrestrial plants. Example: fir, mango, coconut, cactus. Aquatic plants. Plants growing in water are called aquatic plants. Plants growing in water are called aquatic plants. Example: water hyacinth, lotus, tape grass, hydrilla. Water hyacinth. W-A-T-E-R, water. Hyacinth, H-Y-A-C-I-N-T-H, hyacinth, water hyacinth. And hydrilla, H-Y-D-R-I-L-L-A, hydrilla. Question 4. Which plants trap insects between their leaves? Give examples. Answer. Insectivorous plants trap insects between their leaves. Insectivorous plants trap insects between their leaves. Example: Venus flytrap, pitcher plant. Venus flytrap. Spelling: V-E-N-U-S, Venus, flytrap, F-L-Y-T-R-A-P, Venus flytrap. Pitcher plant, P-I-T-C-H-E-R, pitcher plant, etc. Question 5. Why do conifers have needle-like leaves with the wax coating? Answer. Conifer trees have needle-like leaves with wax coating, which helps water and snow to slip off easily. Conifer trees have needle-like leaves with wax coating, which helps water and snow to slip off easily. Roman 5. Answer in detail. Question 1. How does a pitcher plant trap an insect to eat? Answer. In a pitcher plant, the hollow leaves are filled with nectar. When an insect sits on it, the lid closes and the insects get trapped in the pitcher and is swallowed or digested. In a pitcher plant, the hollow leaves are filled with nectar. When an insect sits on it, the lid closes and the insects get trapped in the pitcher and is swallowed or digested. Question 2. List 3 uses of plants in grass family. Answer. A plant named papyrus is used to make paper. 2. dried grass or straw is used as a packing material. 3. Bamboo plants or giant grass is used for making baskets, chairs, drums, mats, huts. Question 3. In desert plants, leaves are modified into spines. Why? Answer. In desert plants, leaves are modified into spines to reduce the loss of water. This also protects plants from grazing animals. In desert plants, leaves are modified into spines to reduce the loss of water. This also protects plants from grazing animals. Okay, children, study well, prepare well, and all the best for your online test. Thank you.